yesterday. Took me about 4 hours. I'm gonna feed the fish first. Feed the fish, get into shooting the recurve, and also this new bow that I made. I haven't really tested it yet. I did check the poundage after I made it. It's about 45 pounds at 28 inches. My draw is 29 inches, so I'd have to guess this bow's probably 47, 48 pounds at my draw. I made this thing out of birch. Not too bad. It came out pretty decent. Took me a while to find this piece of birch that was semi-straight. Get the string put on here. See how this thing fires. See, I got a little bit of a twist right up here in the top side, but not real bad. Hey, it only took 4 hours to make it. See what happens. Gotta be honest, I'm a little nervous. It is definitely heavier than my recurve. This is 60 inches, maybe 62 inches, and this is my 66-inch bare polar that I'm used to shooting. So it's only the second traditional bow I've ever shot. It's a little weird not having that rest up here to put the arrow on. So I'm gonna load a little bit different. I took an old bowstring that I had laying around. I actually had to piece two of them together and tie it to the correct length to get my brace height here, which is about 6 3/4 inches, 7 inches. Any lower than that, then I'd be slapping my wrist. I don't want to do that. Here we go. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to take it easy here the first couple shots. Make sure this thing's not going to blow up on me. You gotta be kidding. Dead nuts there, buddy. That's awesome. I wasn't quite sure what to expect when I decided to build this bow yesterday. I kind of did it on a whim. I wasn't sure how long the process was going to take, how it was going to turn out. And I got quite a few selections of wood here on my property. I could have used some ash. I could have used some oak, but I went with this birch instead. Definitely going to take some getting used to. What's up, Miles? Been a while. Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. It's only like 70 degrees here in South Central PA. Trying out my new handmade bow. Not bad. It's not completely dried yet. It's pretty fast. Faster than my recurve. Not sure how long this bow will last, but we'll see how it shoots here, see how it works out the next couple of weeks. And if it holds up, I'm going to build another one. I'm going to build a different style. More of a primitive style bow. That's cool. It's a lot of fun shooting. It's neat. I wasn't Wasn't quite sure how to set up to even shave this bow down, try to get it even. And I think the first mistake I made was uh, I probably should have mocked it up with a string and bent the bow to see what it was going to look like. Because on the one side of the limb, I got just a real slight curve, just real slight. So next time I make a bow, I think I'll mock it up first. I'll take my time. Just wanted to test the waters, see how this worked out. Not bad, not bad. I wasn't quite sure how birch wood was going to work out for a self bow. Kind of feel like I could shave a little bit more off. I mean, it's pretty symmetrical, but I actually might shave a little bit off. I could probably knock this down to about 40 pounds. Fernando, what's going on? No, I don't have a video of how I made this bow. I mean, I do, but I didn't upload it to YouTube yet. I'll work on that later on today. It's a pretty how do I want to say it? Quiet video. I didn't really explain a whole lot. I just videoed all the different steps that I went through to make this bow. But I'll get that posted. Maybe I'll do a narrative video while I'm building this bow. Not bad. You can tell I'm a little nervous pulling this all the way back full draw. Right there is full draw. And it's real stiff on the back. Yeah, I'll get that video uploaded this afternoon. I'll work on it. All I used was a machete to shave this bow down and a file to notch out where the strings go on the limbs. That's it. And it was pretty cool. It's not as bad as you would think. All you have to do is just swing a machete into a log and run your bow right against that machete to shave your bow down. It worked out pretty good. I was surprised. Not bad for a self-made bow. I mean, I wouldn't go into any kind of a competition with this bow, but in survival situation, if you got to make a bow, I mean, it's the way to do it, especially if you only have a knife or a machete. Not bad, not bad. 70 people on. Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Got a lot going on this weekend. I'm actually contemplating building another bow. I'm pretty sure the next one's going to take longer. I'm going to be a little more critical. But I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this bow because I wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out. I want to spend a couple days or a week or whatever working on a bow that was going to fail. Now, birch is native around my area. There's lots of it, and it's a pretty hard wood. Not sure if you guys are aware of that, but birch is a really hard wood. It's got a pretty smooth grain. I mean, you got to be careful because a lot of the young birches do have some knots, but they're just tiny. I didn't really think that would hurt. You can see that. But it's got real nice grain. It's smooth. Pretty easy to work with. Time will tell. Time will put it to the test. I'd go after a squirrel with that. I would. Now I'm still testing it. I'm still nervous about pulling this back, but we'll get there. Just want to test this thing a little bit. Hoping it doesn't explode while I'm on alive, but trial and error, man. Well, it took me longer. It probably took me just as long to find the wood as it did to make the bow, Fernando. The first piece of wood that I picked out was too big around. Excuse me, it was like 4 inches round. And I thought that would have worked out until I started trying to shave it down. I thought, no way, that's going to be too heavy. So I went to a smaller piece. Actually, I'll go grab that piece that I was originally going to make the first bow out of. Bear with me a second. I have it up here by the fire. I mean, I probably could shave this piece down, but it'd take a little bit of time. Here's the piece that I started. You can see I never cut it to length. I was going to do like a 66-inch longbow out of this. I started shaving it and realized that, man, this is way too big, but it's a nice symmetrical piece. It's got a slight natural curve on both ends. Would have turned out to be a nice bow, but like I said, it's just too heavy. Now I did start out with greenwood, which is fine because once you get it shaved down and get that bark off, you can put it over fire, draw out some of that moisture. Doesn't get all the moisture out. That'll take a little bit of time. But that's how the Indians did it. Made a lot of their bows out of the green wood because they could use them right away. And they lasted for quite a while. All right, getting a little more comfortable drawing this back. I haven't heard any cracks, no creaking. Not bad. Yeah, Fernando. I did put this over the fire for maybe an hour to draw out some of the moisture, but when I'm done with this, I'll take the string off and put it in a room that's dehumidified with a dehumidifier and draw a little bit more of the moisture out. It'll take a couple weeks to dry this out a little more, and it should be fine. I'm pretty familiar with wood because I grew up in a bunch of different. I grew up working for a bunch of different manufacturers, uh, furniture companies who used a lot of different kinds of woods: red oak, white oak, pine, walnut, all kinds of wood. Right in there. It's definitely a little weird using the top of your hand here to rest the arrow. And I could probably wrap this, put something here and wrap it and kind of make a rest. Which I might do. Maybe I'll do that on the next bow. Right there, though. Oh, nice. Yeah, no problem, Fernando. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you guys getting on here. Hey, let me know where you guys are from if you're scrolling through your lives. Double tap that screen, leave a like. I appreciate it. If you want to follow along, that's cool too. I work on my how-to video on the process of making this bow. And as we speak, I'm already talking myself into making another one. Not bad. Tell you what, man, this bow is quiet. It's a lot quieter than my recurve. Let me grab that. That's the old 62 Bear Polar right there. Whew. There we go. All right, so I am going to have to get this dried out as quick as I can or get it over the fire some more. Make this thing a little more snappy. Recurve is snappy compared to the self-made bow. But hey, we're having fun. That's all that matters. Oh, that one's in there. Shoot. It's wet haze. Yeah, wet straw really messes up these fletches. Thanks for the like, guys. Appreciate it. Bees are out everywhere. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. It's a pretty cool bow. All I did was take some old shoestring, sneaker string, did my wrap. Not really a fan of the color, but thinking I should do black or maybe a rawhide or something for that wrap. But I'm probably going to shave this down just a little bit, knock off like 3 or 4 pounds. cool, super cool. Right in there. How long have we been on? 20 minutes. I was going to get all the tools to go through the process of building some laminated bows, but there's a lot involved in that. A lot more than I thought. I just have too much going on to be able to do that. Paper. Yeah, guys, so I'll put up the video a little bit later on, probably this afternoon, early evening. I'll get it done. Like I said, I did video the whole process. I didn't really talk much. I pretty much just went through the steps because I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. But it's a pretty easy process if you want to build your own bow. Well, so far, I don't know how many rounds I did or how many arrows I shot, but it seems to be holding up pretty good. Still no cracking, creaking. And like I said, it took me quite a while to find a good piece. A couple good pieces of wood. Try to find them that are symmetrical. Like the bends right here in these limbs are actually not from me. Those were actually natural in the wood when I picked it. And then I just followed along with it a little bit. Take this string off and show you guys what it looks like without the string. It'll bounce back pretty good. Not bad. And that's because the wood's a little wet yet. But it'll dry out a couple of weeks. Yeah, you can see it goes right back to form. And this is how this branch was curved right here when I selected this piece of wood. Not bad, not bad at all. Oh, sorry, Fernando, I missed that. I mean, once the bark's cleaned off and you have it shaved the way you want it, you can just let it sit in your house. It'll dry eventually, but if you put it over fire outside, it'll dry a lot quicker. Just make sure you don't scorch it if you do that. Well, I'm getting back to my full draw with his 29 inches. There we go. All right. Didn't blow up on me yet, so we're probably going to be all right. So there you go, guys. And birch is, I think birch is a good choice for any kind of a self-made bow. It's pretty hard wood. It's pretty close right up there with hickory. Nice. That was me. Carmine Murray. What's up, man? Thanks for coming on. I just made this bow yesterday out of birch wood, and we're testing it for the first time right now. A lot of fun, no cracking, creaking. It's working out pretty good so far. Slinging some arrows. It's a beautiful Friday. We're starting to get some cool weather. Only in the 70s here today, South Central PA. And this is a lot different than shooting my recurve bow, that's for sure. But it's a lot of fun. I wasn't quite sure what to expect when I put this bow together. Thanks, Carmine. Appreciate it. This is just a test run using birch wood. See how well it works. It's not bad. Just gotta let it harden a little bit, dry out. Still pretty wet. There we go, right in there. Oh, I believe it. I Robin Hooded one last week. I wasn't happy about it because these arrows get expensive. Most of the time when Robin Hoods happen, it's by accident. That's one of the most hated terms by archers is Robin Hood. Nobody likes the Robin Hood. Most of them are right in there. There's a few that are off, but to be expected when the riser's out to the right a little bit, but we can kind of learn how to adjust from that. Another flyer. It's holding up pretty good. I'm impressed. Got one stray right there, and I don't know if that was from shooting. Yeah. Or from me yesterday building this thing. Yeah. Not a big deal. We're good. If you're familiar with making these bows, the side you shave it on is the side you want to bend towards you. You don't want to touch anything on the outside of these bows on the away side, because as soon as you cut into that, you're going to start having problems, and that's on any self-made bow. Gets a little confusing to get used to it. But man, what a cool process making that bow. Started myself a fire, sat down on an old log, and just started shaving away. Wasn't even sure what I was getting into. I did make myself a little notch right there and started my wrap right where my knock point was. Just give me a reference where to keep that arrow. That way if I'm shooting with it, I can kind of be consistent with it. I'm not used to having the canter of the bow. I like holding my bow straight up and down. I guess I just have to get used to it. Said most of them are right in there. I don't know if you guys watched that TV show Outlast. It was a pretty cool TV show. I think the production was pretty good this year. It was better than the last season of Outlast. I like the competition that the three teams had to do, where they had to run out by the lake, start a fire, and the next person, or the person that started the fire, had to light the tip of the arrow, hand it off to the next person to shoot the bow out over the water at a target. And the first team to succeed in hitting that target was safe. And one out of the three teams, whoever didn't hit the target, was kicked off the show. So that was pretty good production. It was pretty cool because there was one team and the only team that had to make their own bow for that competition. The rest of them had regular recurve bows. Carmine, yes I do. I shoot a compound bow for most of the season. This year I'm going to take the recurve out as well. I have an old 62 Bear Polar that I use. Actually, I have that here with me. It's an original 1962 Bear. with the original medallion, which is Cooter. But yeah, this is a cool bow too. This thing shoots real nice. It's not as quiet as that self-made bow though, which is crazy. I thought the self-made bow was a little bit faster because the poundage is heavier, but it's not. All right. Yeah. Love this bow. I'm gonna be hunting with this bow this year. I took a long break from YouTube last November, right around Thanksgiving last year. I was up in Lake Erie doing some steelhead fishing, and it was the last live I did. I'm not quite sure why. It's maybe because I started having some issues with my YouTube name. It used to be Bow Mad Outdoors. I was having issues with some other bigger YouTubers, Bowman Outdoors, and some other things going on. And I had to change my YouTube name. It kind of sucks because I really like Bow Mad. But I stopped doing lives, got away from YouTube a little bit, just got real busy and everything else. And kind of hurt the channel quite a bit. So we're gonna work on trying to get it rebuilt. There we go. All right, we got 40 people on this live. Appreciate you stopping in. This beats sitting on the couch in the house any day of the year. I know I have quite a few friends that come on, they scroll right by my content, like this live right here. And then I'll talk to them later and they'll be like, huh, I saw you were on doing a live, but I didn't get on, or I just didn't have time. All right, we're doing all right. We're getting comfortable with it now. Still at 40 people. I don't know how many rounds I got in this, but it's quite a few. I'm gonna make some adjustments to this bow, shave a little more down on these limbs, get this bow down to about 40 pounds, I think. And then we'll throw it over the fire, get all that moisture out, get it hardened. Give it a little ming and see how it does, see how long it lasts. I'll shoot this bow probably every day, a bunch of rounds, see how well it holds up. Start working on building another bow. Takes some getting used to loading this bow. For those of you just jumping on, I made this bow yesterday out of birch wood. It's about 62 inches. It's right around 45 pounds at 28 inches. Well, my draw is 29 inches, so it might be a little bit more. Today we're going through the testing process, the beginning of the testing process. See how well this birch wood holds up. Seems to be doing all right. I can feel it. I can feel it adjusting a little bit, not much. It's a lot of fun to shoot, man, that's for sure. I actually did not expect it to turn out that good. Not that it's good, not that it's great, but it's not bad for a quick bow build. Where are we at? 30 people. Thanks for the likes, everybody. I appreciate it, guys. And we're going to get that video uploaded a little bit later, how I built this bow. Show you what my process was. It's pretty quick and easy. Well, wasn't real easy because it took some arm work, elbow grease to get it shaved down. But not bad. I bet we gotta have at least 10 rounds in this thing already. Not bad at all. What's everybody up to today on this beautiful Friday? Some of you are at work. Some of you are outdoors doing something. We got the archery bow season. Yeah. The archery season starting October 4th here in PA. A lot of it started in some of the red tag areas. But it can't come soon enough. My freezer's getting empty. There we go. All right, 44 minutes. Stay on a couple more minutes, guys. If you're scrolling through your lives, stop by, leave a comment. Appreciate it. Again, let me know where you're from. It's cool chatting with you guys. Chat rate on here wasn't as good as the last live. Did pretty good last time. All right, so This is 16 yards. And now that I'm starting to figure this bow out a little bit, I'm figuring out my tip on. Shooting just a little high. Man, this is fun. Thank you. What's up? Northern California. Way out in the west side of the country. We're in South Central PA. Hey, right now I'm trying to aim tip on, figuring it out. Self-made bow out of birch. Unbelievable. I haven't heard of many people using birch to make bows, actually. I don't know if maybe because they can't get it, but here in Pennsylvania, we have an overabundance of birch, especially in the coal mine regions. Birch everywhere. Birch, ash, oak. I was going to try oak, but I decided not to because, man, it's real grainy, and there's a lot of pores in the grain on oak. I mean, you might get away with it as a laminate or something, but I don't know if it'd be a good wood for a bow. There we go, right in there. Yep. Appreciate you coming on, Frankie. Appreciate all you guys jumping on here, watching this old guy shoot a self-made bow. There we go. Now we're getting warmed up. Just kind of had to find my rhythm with this thing. This is awesome. Good group. I probably wouldn't shoot anything else past where I'm at now with this bow. Maybe 18 yards. I'm used to shooting 18 yards with the recurve, so maybe. I'm not a big fan of the wrap for this handle, though. I'm actually thinking about going and grabbing some rawhide, some darker rawhide, make a nice wrap. Maybe we'll do that after I shave this bow down a little bit. Bow's still a little heavy, about 45 pounds, and I want to bring it down to about 40. Seems to be doing all right. I'm pretty impressed. I was out yesterday before I got this bow shaved down to the weight it's at. I was trying to get a bowstring on it and couldn't get enough pressure on it to get the bowstring where I needed it. And my neighbor come over. He's like, "Hey, you need a hand?" Like, well, I think it's still just a little too heavy to put a bowstring on it. Anyway, I ended up spending another 2 hours Taking some more wood off the backside of this bow. I remember as a kid building these bows. We never shaved anything off of them. We might have used our dad's pocket knife to take the bark off and uh, take some of that old nylon string from a ball of string our dad had in the shed and tie it on there. Grab a couple of sticks and put a notch at the end of the stick and just fire away. Those were the good old days. I used to tinker a lot, a little bit of everything when I was younger. But of course, I got in trouble a lot when I was younger from my dad because he'd come home and go look for something and it would be gone. Lumber, nails, tools. All right, we're getting way off target here. Let's figure out what's going on. All right, there we go. What's up? Dig deeper. What's going on? Caro. Thanks for coming on. Shooting the self-made bow here today. Made this out of birch wood. I think we got about 12 rounds of 3 in so far. It's doing good. No cracking. If you're coming on my live, let me know. I'd like to know how far we're reaching here from this channel. I'm having fun shooting this thing. I don't want to stop. Oh, that one disappeared. Not sure what's going on there. There we go. 60 viewers on. Awesome. Only had one flyer take off. Didn't go far. Ah, tends to happen with these new bows. Still fun. When I went through the process of making this bow, I thought it was going to be more like a toy, more like a novelty, something maybe I could hand my grandkids and say, here you go. But turns out this thing's pretty wicked. Definitely not a toy. I'll tell you what, having to set it up like that's really starting to beat into the top of my knuckle there. right, 64 people on. What's going on? Flipping plugs. Oh, I have my recurve down here. I'm actually going to do some hunting with this year. I've been shooting this one for 2 summers, and I think I'm ready. Just wanted to be comfortable shooting that recurve before I went out hunting with it. But could you imagine going out and smacking a deer with this self-made bow? I mean, I probably could at 10 yards, 12 yards. I'm only shooting 170 grains off front of these arrows right now. I think we're sitting right around 460 grains total. Yeah, I just made this bow yesterday. It took me about 4 hours. Not bad. And I wasn't sure what to expect out of it, but finally made it back to full draw with it. We're in Pennsylvania flipping plugs. I think I've seen you before. I don't know if it was on a previous live a long time ago, but your name is very familiar. I should get my neighbor to come over and test this. See what he thinks of this bow. I think he'd be thoroughly impressed. I know when he walked over yesterday, he couldn't figure out what I was doing. Right in there, right in there. All right. All right, all right, all right. Flipping plugs, you're from New York. Man, I'm going to get up to New York and do some hunting. Oh, hi. I keep telling myself if I use my buck tag the first week of bow season, I'm going to get a tag for out of state. All right, right in there. And New York is one of my first choices. New York or Maryland. I'd like to do some hunting. But yeah, it's coming quick. October 4th here statewide. Can't come soon enough. I moved a lot of my content. I probably shouldn't be saying this on YouTube, but a while back, I moved a lot of my content over to Facebook under Bill Michael. So if you guys go over there, check that out. Bill Michael, nicknamed Jake. There's a lot of content on there that isn't on YouTube. Right in there. The only difference is Facebook only allows 3-minute videos, and YouTube just recently moved the YouTube Shorts from 1 minute to 3 minutes. Wish they'd have done that a long time ago. Oh, right in there. All right. British Explorer, UK. All right, thanks for coming on. I can't pronounce that name. That's a Russian name, but thanks for jumping on there. Nice country bucks. Flipping plugs. Awesome. Good old New York. Travel through there quite a bit. Nasasio, Lama Bernito. What's up? 85 people on. Well, it took a while. We're on here exactly an hour, and it took an hour for the algorithm to finally kick in. And I usually only do my lives for an hour. Good group. That was good. I'm shooting a 45-pound self-made bow that I just made yesterday. Needs some touch-up work. I think I'm going to do a new wrap. Shave the limbs down a little bit, knock a couple pounds off of this bow. Make sure my brace height is good. Brace heights need to be from here, from the back of your riser to your string, it needs to be at least 6 3/4 inches. If it's not at least that, that's when you start getting slap on your arm. So we're right about 6 inches, 6.5 inches. So definitely gonna have to make some adjustments there. I'm not getting any wrist slap yet. And this is fun, just watching the arrows fly off of this thing. It's crazy. Get a couple flyers in here, but it's to be expected. Thanks for coming on, guys. Might do another round or two. Get to working on this bow. I've got some other stuff to do. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. If you follow along, I'll let you know when I get that video posted of how I made this bow. I'm going to post that this afternoon, early evening. So if you hit that follow button, it'll let you know when I post that video. It's a pretty cool process. Oh, there it is. Proof that it shoots. Height is perfect, and left and rights are just a little sporadic yet. I have a really cool idea about a bow. This was on my mind before I make this one, but I wanted to get 2 sticks like this, maybe a little bit thinner, and put them side by side, and maybe just put 2 or 3 inch stick on the top, in the middle for the riser, and at the bottom, and kind of sandwich them together. That way, when I install my string, the arrow will be right in the middle, kind of like a Hoyt bow. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe I'll try that. Yeah, that's been on my mind quite a bit. Because then you don't have that swing from your arrow not being centered here. We don't have that cutout like on a regular bow or a regular recurve bow. Man, this thing's fun to shoot. I wasn't expecting it to turn out like this. 65 people on. Do we stay on? Stay on and shoot some more? I wish I had some blooms. I'll shoot a couple more. Hey guys, if you got any questions, feel free. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this bow. Also, let me know if you do this yourself, if you shoot bow, if you're into archery, hunting, outdoors, hiking, whatever it might be. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're into. It's always fun chatting, and I really like when questions come in. Ooh, nice. Better remark my notch there so I don't lose my placement. Had a little notch on the side of the bow so it would line up with my knocking point here. Otherwise, we're not going to be consistent at all. Black Tri Wildlife, Disco Knox. Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of the blinkety blinkety Knox, but I bought 18 of them for $30. There were some cheapos, but the last ones I bought that were cheapos, they're really hard to turn off. They have switches on the side of the knock. I didn't like that. So they started making these switches a little bit different. These are a lot easier to turn on and off. These new style buttons right here. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a fan of the blinkety blinks, but I wanted to try them. I know last year I shot at a deer. I missed it, and I was using a solid green knock, and it was sticking semi up in the ground where you could see the knock, and that deer come back around, and it stood there staring at my knock for about 15 minutes. But I'm sure if it would have been a blinkety knock, it probably wouldn't have stuck around. Oh yeah, shooting the old self-made bow. I just made this yesterday. 62 inches. It's about 45 pounds. I made it out of birch wood. I think I've got 15 rounds out of this bow today. Seems to be doing okay. I'm impressed. I wasn't expecting this, but I guess it was a good choice choosing the birch wood. Pretty hard wood. I got these right out back here. And I'll tell you what, it took me just as long to find a piece of wood that I thought was going to work than it did took me just as long to find the wood as it did the bow. Did making the bow. Crazy. The original bow, I was originally going to use this piece here. And it's green, still pretty green right here. This monster right here. And I started shaving it down and I realized it was way too big. So, yeah, it's working out pretty good. I'll use that piece of wood for something. Probably just chip it down and use it in a smoker. Or make some soda. Greg Lawson, what's up? Yeah, that one piece of wood, man, I didn't realize how big it was until I sat down and started shaving it. But I also cut down this little piece, which it turned out to be perfect. Oh yeah. I think we have about 15 rounds in with this bow. 15 rounds of 3. Probably more than that. It's got to be more than that because I've been shooting nonstop for over an hour. But hey, I wanted to test this bow and make sure it was going to hold up. I'm impressed. The only thing that sucks not having a riser, a rest here. We got to rest the arrow on our knuckles right there. It kind of starting to get sore a little bit. Tell you what, it fires pretty good. Got some new viewers on here. Thanks for coming on, guys. Guys, gals. Had a lot of fun the last couple of days. It was really fun building this bow. Nice. Keep jumping back and forth here. Didn't plan on going live this long. I just wanted to jump on for a half hour, an hour. And test this self-made bow on live. I actually wasn't expecting the bow to shoot this well. It's a good workout though. Edmund, what's up? Thanks for coming on. A bunch of new viewers on here today. Again, we're shooting a self-made bow that I just made yesterday. Like I said, I'm not a fan of this wrap. I stole the string out of my wife's sneakers yesterday, and she got home. She was pretty mad. But I needed some kind of wrap to finish up this bow, you know what I mean? I'm definitely going to have to fix that. Back up to 70 people, 60 people. All right. It's crazy. So I've got a few adjustments to make, but at least the bow's done. It's working. Can make a few minor adjustments, get it cleaned up, maybe stain it, put a new wrap on it. I'll probably use some dark rawhide. Sand it down a little bit and we're good to go. I didn't want to go through all that process if it wasn't going to hold up, but it seems to be holding up pretty good. I'm impressed. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching me shoot this self-made bow. Stay tuned for the video on how I made this bow. I'm going to be putting that up a little bit later on. So make sure you hit that follow. I appreciate you guys. See you on the next one.